Welcome back to the podcast, Then Now Stories Behind the Screen. In 1965, in the midst of the space race, a television series debuted that forever captured the imagination of a generation. It was Lost in Space. The Robinson family pioneers in space colonization lost on their journey to Alpha Centauri after a sabotage plot was more than just a science fiction adventure. It became an unforgettable part of childhood memories. The Jupiter, 2, the young Will Robinson, and the B-9 robot became cultural icons. But behind those classic characters are actors with very unique fates. 60 years have passed. Time has carved different traces on their lives. Some continue to shine brightly. Some choose a quiet path, and there are also those who had to stop their journey in tragedy. Today, let's look back at the ups and downs of the cast that made up the soul of Lost in Space. Guy Williams as Professor John Robinson in Lost in Space. Professor John Robinson is the backbone, the father, and the courageous commander of his family and crew, with his tall stature and unwavering gaze. John Robinson is the embodiment of stability, courage, and wisdom in a universe full of danger. He is the anchor that keeps the family together in the face of adversity. Guy Williams, then 41, brilliantly portrays the calm leader who always puts the safety of his family first, even though he is sometimes overshadowed by more colorful characters. Before he traveled to space, Guy Williams was already a big star. After years of modeling and minor roles, he was discovered by Walt Disney and given the fateful role Don Diego de la Vega, or the legendary Zorro, with his handsome looks, elegant demeanor, and excellent sword-fighting skills. The role of Zorro turned him into an idol for millions of viewers, especially in Latin America. After that resounding success, Lost in Space was his last major role. Although he was the leader, his character did not have much room to perform compared to the antics of Dr. Smith. After the series ended, Guy Williams' career in Hollywood gradually slowed down. However, the legacy of El Zorro lives on. When he visited Argentina in 1973, he was overwhelmed by the passionate admiration the people there had for him. And then he fell in love with the country and its people. He decided to retire, living a peaceful life in Buenos Aires, occasionally appearing in public as Zorro. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and life. It seems that the role of the heroic Zorro has been applied to his life in a more strange way than the role of John Robinson. While on film, he is a hero who always fights for the people in real life. He found peace and was loved. As a hero among the people who fell in love with his character, he chose a life away from the spotlight, a complete opposite of the star image he once had. But that romantic journey had to stop abruptly. On April 30th, 1989, Guy Williams died at the age of 65 from a brain aneurysm. He died alone in his apartment in Buenos Aires. His passing left a huge void in the hearts of Zorro fans around the world. His legacy was not only his role as a devoted father in Lost in Space, but also the immortal image of a masked knight, a life story about finding his true home in a faraway place. June Lockhart as Maureen Robinson. If John Robinson was the brains and the power, Maureen Robinson was the heart and soul of the family, a talented biochemist and devoted mother, transformed the cold hold of the ship into a warm home with her hydroponic garden. With her gentle smile and determination, Maureen was a source of comfort and strength for the family. The performance by June Lockhart, then 40, truly portrayed the image of a woman who was intelligent, strong but also extremely warm, the ideal model of a mother in the space age. June Lockhart seemed to be born to be a star. As the daughter of two famous actors, she stepped onto the stage at a very young age and had a brilliant career from a very early age. Before becoming the mother of the Robinson family, she was a star on Broadway, winning the prestigious Tony Award. She also captured the hearts of television audiences with her role as the mother in the classic series Lassie. With that solid foundation, the role of Maureen Robinson was a natural continuation, cementing the image of America's devoted mother in the hearts of the public. After Lost in Space ended her career, did not stop. She became a familiar face on television for decades, participating in countless famous series such as General Hospital Beverly Hills 90210, proving her tenacious work ethic and strong love for acting. June. Lockhart's personal life was as stable and professional as her career. She was married twice and had 2 daughters, one of whom, Anne Lockhart, followed in her mother's footsteps and became an actress. It seems that her role as Maureen Robinson was a perfect reflection of her life while on screen. She was a woman who kept her family together and weathered all the storms off-screen. June. Lockhart was a woman who built a solid, enduring career and became one of the most beloved mothers on American television. She was the embodiment of grace, talent, and a timeless spirit. However, that journey of dedication to art has come to an end. On October 23, 2025, June, Lockhart passed away at the age of 100 due to natural causes. Her passing closed a glorious chapter in the history of Hollywood television. The legacy she left behind was not only her exemplary mother roles, but also a life story of professionalism, passion, and an artistic journey that spanned nearly a century. Mark Goddard as Major Don West. In the Jupiter 2 crew, Major Don West is a hot-tempered, outspoken, but extremely brave pilot. He is a man of action, always ready to face danger to protect the Robinson family, and often confronts the schemes of Dr. Smith. With his masculine appearance and impulsive personality, Don West is a necessary counterweight to the calm Professor Robinson. Mark Goddard, then 29 years old, performed excellently as a brave young soldier, a bad boy but with a heart of gold. Before becoming an astronaut, Mark Goddard was a familiar face in Western and crime television series Lost in Space, brought him to a wide audience. After the series ended, he continued his acting career as a guest actor on many famous television shows in the 70s and 80s. However, the halo of Hollywood seemed to be his final destination. In the 90s, Mark Goddard made a surprising decision. He returned to school, earned a master's degree in education, and started a completely new career. He became a special education teacher, dedicating the rest of his life to working with and helping disadvantaged children. He found a new calling, a path that brought deeper meaning to his life. The most interesting thing is the connection between the role and life. It seems that the role of Don West is an interesting contrast to the real person. While on screen, the character is a hot-tempered and quarrelsome pilot in real life. Mark Goddard is a calm and compassionate person who chose the path of education and healing over the adventures of science fiction. The hero on screen has become a silent hero in real life, fighting for the future of children. However, that humane journey had to stop. On October 10, 2023, Mark Goddard passed away at the age of 87 due to pulmonary fibrosis. His passing left behind a sorrow for those who knew his extraordinary life story. The legacy he left behind was not only the image of the brave pilot Don West, but also a touching story of finding true purpose in life, a proof that greatness lies not only in the halo, but also in silent dedication. Marta Kristen as Judy Robinson. As the eldest daughter of the Robinson family, Judy is the embodiment of beauty, maturity, and sometimes protective vulnerability. She is the romantic interest of Major Don West, and is often the one who finds herself in the most dangerous situations. At 20, with her innocent beauty and expressive eyes, Marta Kristen is a classic Judy Robinson, a damsel in distress of the sci-fi genre. But behind that charming exterior lies a tumultuous life story. Born in Norway as Birgit Annalisa Rusanen to a Finnish mother and a German soldier, father who died, she was abandoned in an orphanage when she was just 2 months old. She was later adopted by an American couple and renamed Marta. Her life was a journey to find her roots. After Lost in Space began, despite the role that brought her fame, Marta felt disappointed when her character became more obscure and the series became silly. After getting married and pregnant with her first child, she made a solo trip to Europe to find her birth mother and was successful. From then on, she decided to put her family before her career. She almost withdrew from acting, only doing commercials. so she could spend more time with her daughter. Her life has been an emotional journey, a clear priority for personal values. It seems that the role of Judy Robinson is a complete opposite of her fate. While on film, Judy is a girl who needs protection and has a rather simple life in real life. Marta Kristen is an extremely strong, independent woman who has searched for her past and bravely chosen a quiet life for her family instead of chasing fame. Today at 80, Marta Kristen lives a quiet life. She still attends fan events and does a few small acting roles, but her greatest joy is being with her family and looking after her grandchildren. Her journey is a testament to the power of family, to being able to define success in your own way, and to the fact that roots and family are sometimes the greatest adventures of all. Bill Mumy as Will Robinson. Danger. Will Robinson. Danger. Robot. B9's catchphrase has become immortal, and it is always associated with the image of the smart, curious, and kind boy. Will Robinson. Will is the emotional center of the series, is Robot's best friend, and is often the one to solve problems with his intelligence and kindness. At the age of 11, Bill Mumy, an experienced child actor, has excellently portrayed the image of a scientific prodigy with a kind heart, winning the hearts of audiences of all ages. While many child actors struggle as adults, Bill Mumy is an extraordinary exception. After taking off his Will Robinson spacesuit, he embarked on a diverse and incredibly successful artistic career. He is not only an actor, but also a talented musician. Together with Robert Hamer, he formed the duo Barnes and created the quirky but classic song Fish Heads. He is also an Emmy-nominated film composer. Not only that, Bill Mumy is also a writer, writing scripts for TV series like Babylon 5, co-creating the series Space Cases, and writing comics for major companies like Marvel and DC Comics. He is also a talented voice actor. His life was a constant flow of creativity. He married and had 2 children, of which his daughter Liliana Mumy is also an actress. It seems that the role of Will Robinson was a prophecy for his life. While on film, Will is a genius boy, always tinkering, creating, and exploring in real life. Bill Mumy turned that creativity into his career, exploring every corner of art from music, literature to film production. He proved that Will Robinson's genius mind is more than just a role. Today at 71, Bill Mumy continues his tireless creative career. He continues to perform right and is an integral part of the science fiction community. His journey is a testament to how a child actor can grow up and create a rich, diverse artistic legacy that extends far beyond the role that made him famous. Angela Cartwright as Penny Robinson. As the middle daughter, Penny Robinson is a dreamy, imaginative soul with a special love for animals, which is reflected in her relationship with Debbie, a chimpanzee. Like Alien, Penny is the voice of innocence and compassion in the family. At age 13, Angela Cartwright, already familiar to audiences from The Danny Thomas Show and the classic film The Sound of Music, brings a lovable and emotional depth to Penny. Like Bill Mumy, Angela Cartwright was a successful child actress. Her role as Penny Robinson further cemented her place in the hearts of audiences. However, after Lost in Space and a few other projects ended, Angela gradually withdrew from the spotlight. She married, had children, and chose a quieter life to focus on her family. But that did not mean she gave up art. She found a new passion and turned it into her second career: photography. She became a talented photographer, artist, and author. Her artwork has been exhibited and published, revealing a different, more subtle and personal side of her creativity. Her life has been a smooth transition from acting to visual arts. It seems that the role of Penny Robinson has come to life beautifully while on screen. Penny is an artistic girl who lives in her own fantasy world in real life. Angela Cartwright has turned that artistic soul into her real career. She uses her lens and her brush to continue telling stories in her own way, in a quieter and deeper way. Today, at 73, Angela Cartwright is still living a creative and fulfilling life. She owns an art studio and regularly connects with her fans through her work. Her journey is a testament to the fact that fulfillment and success can be found outside of Hollywood. and that creativity can manifest in many different forms throughout a person's life. D. Hartford as Verda. Along with terrifying monsters, the universe of Lost in Space also has creatures of ethereal beauty, and one of them is Verda, a female robot from a society without emotions. With a tall, elegant, and slightly cold appearance, D. Hartford perfectly transformed into a creature both charming and mysterious, who learned her first lessons about love from the Robinson family. D. Hartford's life and career are a glittering tale of Hollywood's elite. Starting as a Vogue model, she possessed a captivating beauty that quickly caught the eye of filmmakers. But her life was also shaped by special relationships. She was the wife of legendary director Howard Hawks and sister-in-law of comedian Groucho Marx. She lived in a world of high-class parties and the greatest names. Thanks to her close relationship with producer Irwin Allen, she became a familiar face in his sci-fi series From Helen of Troy in The Time Tunnel. To the female robot, Verda, she was a queen of 1960s fantasy films. However, after many years of living in the spotlight, D. Hartford made a decisive choice. After her second marriage to a wealthy tycoon in 1972, she decided to withdraw completely from the entertainment industry. She chose a quiet, peaceful life with her family, leaving behind the fame and the invitations of Hollywood. It seemed that the role of Verda was a premonition of her life. While on film, Verda is a creature from another world learning to integrate with the human world in real life. D. Hartford moved elegantly through the glamorous world of Hollywood before moving into another world, a completely private and quiet life. But her journey through the heights of Hollywood and finding peace in her personal life has finally come to an end on October 21st, 2018. D. Hartford passed away at the age of 90 from natural causes. Her passing brings to an end one of the most iconic icons of beauty and elegance of her time. Her legacy is that of a woman who lived life to the fullest on her own terms, who proved that sometimes the bravest choice is to step out of the spotlight. Jonathan Harris as Dr. Zachary Smith. In any Lost in Space story, it's impossible not to mention the most memorable villain, the one who stole the show, Dr. Zachary Smith, originally a saboteur. He became the most comical and beloved character because of his cowardice, laziness, and poetic curse words, with catchphrases like, "Oh, the pain," and "Never fear." Smith is here. He was the spirit of chaos, Jonathan Harris. Then, 51, performed a masterful performance of comedy, transforming a one-dimensional villain into a complex and colorful cultural icon. Jonathan Harris was a trained stage actor with a solid career before Lost in Space. He was a pharmacist, but gave it up to pursue his passion for acting. The role of Dr. Smith was originally intended to be a guest character and would be dropped early. But Jonathan Harris himself reinvented the character, adding cowardice, self-satisfaction, and flowery language, making it impossible for the producers to write him off. He saved his character and reshaped the entire series. After Lost in Space, he was heavily relegated to colorful villain roles. However, he made good use of his distinctive voice, becoming a sought-after voice actor for a series of animated films, most memorably as Manny the stick insect in A Bug's Life. His life was a dedication to the performing arts. He was happily married to his wife Gertrude for over 60 years. It is worth pondering the connection between his acting and his life. It seems that the role of Dr. Smith was a release for his stage talent. While in real life Jonathan Harris was a professional, intelligent, and well-educated man on film, he created a completely different persona, lazy, selfish, but extremely charming. He was a master of words both on and off screen. But that colorful and dramatic journey had to stop. On November 3rd, 2002, just 3 days before his 88th birthday, Jonathan Harris passed away from a blood clot in his heart. His passing left an indelible legacy. He was not just Dr. Smith. He was a testament to the power of an actor to turn a supporting role into the soul of an entire work. a life story that shows how it is never too late to create a role of a lifetime. Albert Salmi as Captain Alonzo P. Tucker. In the vast universe where the Robinson family is lost, they meet countless strange characters, and one of the most memorable is Captain Alonzo P. Tucker, a space pirate who has been lost in time for centuries, played by veteran actor Albert Salmi. This character not only brings humor, but also a deep sadness about loneliness. At nearly 40 years old, with a wealth of acting experience, Albert Salmi breathed life into the pirate, turning a cameo role into an unforgettable highlight. Albert Salmi's career is a testament to his talent and dedication to the arts. After serving in the Army, he studied at the prestigious Actors Studio and quickly became a star on Broadway, notably with his role in Bus Stop. He brought his deep acting skills to the screen, and in his debut film, The Brothers Karamazov, he received critical acclaim, even turning down an Oscar nomination to show his humility. He was particularly fond of the Western genre, and was often cast in gritty roles, sometimes as a ruthless villain, sometimes as a misunderstood hero. With the ability of a true actor, he could make audiences both hate and love his characters. However, the real man was a complete contrast. In contrast to his loud, brash, on-screen persona, Albert Salmi was a quiet family man without the trappings of a Hollywood star. He found joy in the quiet. In his later years, he almost retired, moving to Spokane, Washington, and sharing his theatrical knowledge by teaching drama classes to the younger generation. It seemed that his edgy roles were just the opposite of his chosen destiny. While on screen he was an outlaw in real life, he sought peace as a teacher and a husband. But the picture of a talented artist finding peace was shattered into unimaginable tragedy. On April 22, 1990, Albert Salmi died at the age of 63 at his home in Spokane, Washington, in a horrific tragedy. He and his wife died in what was ruled a murder-suicide. His passing left a huge shock, a lingering question. His legacy was one of undeniable acting talent, but it was also tragically overshadowed by a haunting and painful ending. Dawson Palmer as the monster. In every adventure of Lost in Space, there are always alien creatures, scary monsters lurking around the Robinson family. But have we ever wondered who is hiding under those layers of rubber and fur? The answer is Dawson Palmer, who is known as the series' resident monster. He does not play one role, but many roles. He is the embodiment of all the horrors that the characters have to face. Although the audience never sees his real face, his presence is an indispensable part that creates the drama for the film. Dawson Palmer is a stuntman and former basketball player. His towering stature made him the perfect fit for the bulky monster costumes. He was a close associate of producer Irwin Allen and appeared in nearly every one of his sci-fi series. Dawson Palmer's life is the story of an unsung hero behind the camera. His work required incredible physical strength and endless patience, enduring hours in hot, unbreathable suits, fighting with leading men and falling over and over again, all to create the most authentic footage. He was an artist whose talent was measured by his endurance and quiet sacrifice. His career is a testament to his invisible but crucial contributions to the film industry. It seems that his monster roles have been applied to his life in a special way. On film, he is the enemy, the threat. But in real life, he is an indispensable partner, a companion of the entire film crew who uses his own body to turn the nightmares on the script into vivid reality on the screen. He is the embodiment of professionalism, hidden behind the mask. But the promising journey of the man who specialized in facing imaginary dangers on film sets was stopped by a sudden tragedy in the real world. September 10, 1972. Dawson Palmer died at the age of 36 after a tragic car accident. His death at such a young age was a great loss to the world of stuntmen. His legacy does not make the headlines, but it lives on in every action. Scene, every thrilling moment, he helped create a reminder of cinema's unsung heroes.